Narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's Messenger said, Islam is based on the following 5 principles. 1. To testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah and Muhammad is Allah's messenger. 2. To offer the compulsory congregational prayers dutifully and perfectly. 3. To pay zakat, i.e. obligatory charity. 4. To perform Hajj, i.e. pilgrimage to Mecca. 5. To observe fast during the month of Ramadan. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet said, Faith belief consists of more than 60 branches, i.e. parts, and this term covers a large number of concepts which are to be taken together. Amongst them are self-respect, modesty, bashfulness, and scruple. etc. is a part of faith. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr, the Prophet said, A Muslim is the one who avoids harming Muslims with his tongue and hands, and a Muhajir emigrant is the one who gives up, abandons all what Allah has forbidden. Narrated Abu Musa, some people asked Allah's Messenger, whose Islam is the best, i.e. who is a very good Muslim? He replied, one who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and hands. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr, a man asked the Prophet, what sort of deeds or what qualities of Islam are good? The Prophet replied, 2. Feed the poor and greet those whom you know, and those whom you do not know. See Hadith No. 27. Narrated Anas, the Prophet said, None of you will have faith till he wishes for his Muslim brother what he likes for himself. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger said, By him in whose hands my life is, none of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father and his children. Narrated Anas, the Prophet said, None of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father, his children, and all mankind. Narrated Anas, the Prophet said, Whoever possesses the following 3 qualities will have the sweetness, delight of faith. 1. The one to whom Allah and his apostle becomes dearer than anything else. 2. Who loves a person and he loves him only for Allah's sake. 3. Who hates to revert to atheism, disbelief, as he hates to be thrown into the fire. Narrated Anas, the Prophet said, Love for the answer is a sign of faith, and hatred for the answer is a sign of hypocrisy. Narrated Anas, the Prophet said, Love for the answer is a sign of faith, and hatred for the answer is a sign of hypocrisy. Narrated Ubadah bin as-Samit, who took part in the Battle of Badr, and was a Nakib, a person heading a group of 6 persons. On the night of Al-Aqaba pledge, Allah's apostle said, while a group of his companions were round him, Swear allegiance to me for 1. Not to join anything in worship along with Allah. 2. Not to steal. 3. Not to commit illegal sexual intercourse. 4. Not to kill your children. 5. Not to accuse an innocent person, to spread such an accusation among people. 6. Not to be disobedient when ordered to do good deed. The Prophet added, Whoever among you fulfills his pledge will be rewarded by Allah, and whoever indulges in any one of them except the ascription of partners to Allah, and gets the punishment in this world, that punishment will be an expiation for that sin. And if one indulges in any of them, and Allah conceals his sin, it is up to him to forgive or punish him in the hereafter. Ubadah bin as-Samit added, So we swore allegiance for these points to Allah's apostle. Narrated Abu Said al-Khudri. Allah's messenger said, "A time will soon come when the best property of a Muslim will be sheep, which he will take on the top of mountains, and the places of rainfall valleys, so as to flee with his religion from afflictions." Narrated Aisha. Whenever Allah's messenger ordered the Muslims to do something, he used to order them deeds which were easy for them to do, according to their strength and endurance. They said, "O Allah's messenger, we are not like you. Allah has forgiven your past and future sins." So Allah's apostle became angry, and it was apparent on his face. He said, "I am the most Allah-fearing, and know Allah better than all of you do." Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, "Whoever possesses the following 3 qualities will taste the sweetness of faith. 1. The one to whom Allah and his apostle become dearer than anything else. 2. Who loves a person and he loves him only for Allah's sake. 3. Who hates to revert to disbelief, atheism, after Allah has saved him out from it, as he hates to be thrown in fire." Narrated Abu Said al-Khudri. The Prophet said, "When the people of paradise will enter paradise, and the people of hell will go to hell, Allah will order those who have had faith equal to the weight of a grain of mustard seed to be taken out from hell. So they will be taken out, but by then they will be black and charred. Then they will be put in the river of Haya. Rain or Hayat life." The narrator eyes in doubt as to which is the righter. "And they will revive like a grain that grows near the bank of a flood channel. Don't you see that it comes out yellow and twisted?" Narrated Abu Said al-Khudri. Allah's messenger said, "While I was sleeping I saw in a dream some people wearing shirts of which some were reaching up to the breasts, only while others were even shorter than that. Umar bin al-Khattab was shown wearing a shirt that he was dragging. The people asked, 'How did you interpret it? What is its interpretation, O Allah's messenger?' The Prophet replied, 'It is the religion.'" Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Once Allah's messenger passed by an Ansari man who was admonishing his brother regarding Haya. On that Allah's messenger said, "Leave him, as Haya is a part of faith." See Hadith 9. Narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's messenger said, "I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give the obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me except for Islamic laws, and then their reckoning accounts will be done by Allah." Narrated Abu Hurairah. Allah's messenger was asked, "What is the best deed?" He replied, "To believe in Allah and his apostle, Muhammad." The questioner then asked, "What is the next in goodness?" He replied, "To participate in jihad, religious fighting in Allah's cause." The questioner again asked, "What is the next in goodness?" He replied, "To perform Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca Mubber, which is accepted by Allah, and is performed with the intention of seeking Allah's pleasure only, and not to show off, and without committing a sin, and in accordance with the traditions of the Prophet."